Kings and queens, gentlemen and ladies. This is Refined Rose back with another video. I was talking to someone today and he's a driver. He go pick up patients and drop them off to and from different mental institutions. And one of his patients that was in the van for a drop-off told him that she was talking to herself in public about what she was going to eat for that day. And two ladies was watching her talk to herself in public, discussing with herself her meal of the day. So these two ladies became concerned and fearful because she was just talking to herself. So they decided to call law enforcement to let them know that they were in fear for their life because a lady was sitting out having a conversation with herself and popping her fingers in her ears, talking about what she was going to do. So law enforcement arrived about 10 or 15 minutes later. What I'm telling you is just a fable. It's not rooted in reality at all. So law enforcement arrived. The lady was still sitting down on the bench at the park. And law enforcement went up to talk to her and asked her, how's she doing? How's her day going? And she told the officer that her day is going well. But she was a little puzzled why the officer came up to her out of all people in the park for that day to ask her how she was doing. So the officer asked her, has she been sitting on this bench talking to herself? And she said, yeah. Why? And the officer said, well, what were you talking about? She told the officer that she was discussing with herself what she was going to eat for that day. And so the officer, I guess, didn't like that answer so much. So she said he told her for her safety and for the safety of others at the park, he would like for her to come to his squad car so they can talk further at the squad car. And she said, well, I don't feel comfortable with going to your squad car. Whatever you need to say to me, you can say it right here. So he told her, it's not a request. You need to come to my car so we can talk. So she said she didn't want to make any problems. She just wanted to be over with. So she got up and she went to the squad car so there wouldn't be any problems. And he told her when she got to the car, he said it was a concern and citizens got a concern, and he didn't want to leave her at the park by herself, and she's having conversations with herself. So he said for her safety, he asked her to put her hands behind her back, and she was like, well, this makes no sense at all. I have to put my hands behind my back for what? He said, because citizens are concerned. He said, I just explained that to you, and you're out here talking to yourself. So she complied. She put her hands behind her back. He put the cuffs on her, and he took her to a mental institution and dropped her off, told him what happened and dropped her off. And she was telling the driver that they were asking her all kind of questions, trying to determine her mental state. Now, she felt like her mental state is fine. Now, how many of us talk to ourselves? And this is something probably normal or common for some of us. Now, I know that I think about things out loud and I say it. But now it's like we have to be leery if we think about things and we say them out loud. Stop. And we say them out loud and people can hear us because they may become fearful and think something is wrong with our mental state. So here it is. This lady ended up at a mental hospital because she was having a conversation with herself, thinking about what she was going to eat for that day. And two citizens, two females, became alarmed and called law enforcement and told them that they were fearful for their life. So we just have to be careful. We have to be careful with our thoughts. We have to be careful if we're going to say out loud what we're thinking, because we never know who's around, who's listening, that would think that we have a diminished mind state or there's something going on with us. This is going to be a short video, and the driver of this van, he said, he just was shaking his head, and he said, this don't make any sense. He said, because I talk to myself quite frequently out loud. He said, I don't answer myself. He said, and he was thinking that, what if somebody hear me talking to myself and they call law enforcement on me and they have me locked up and I can't go to work and provide for my household? He said to him, this world is getting a little crazy. And he said, maybe the people that they're saying crazy, maybe they aren't the crazy one. Maybe it's the world that's just a little bit crazy. Now, I have to agree with that. This world is getting a little bit crazy, and maybe some of the people that's diagnosed as being insane or crazy, maybe they're not crazy, or maybe the world around them caused them to be sane, insane, and crazy, and snapped. Let's always look out for each other and be aware of our surroundings and be aware of what we say and be aware of what we do in today's society, because we could be seen as mental. Well, kings and queens, ladies and gentlemen, this was just a short video, and as always, be great, stay great, be great every single day. Bye for now.